Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So today you might be wondering, where am I sitting? So right now I'm in a park and which has a beautiful trail beside me, and in front of me there is a Humber river going on. So weather is quite pleasant today, which means this is the time for another video. So today we are going to go and discuss about the topic which is one of my favorite topics besides aerospace, that is money. Being in India and investing in stock market is quite easier as comparative to in Canada, because there are many of the things which we should know. For example, there are TFSAs, there are RRSPs. So these become quite tricky when you are trying to invest in Canada. So first of all, TFSA stands for Tax Free Savings Account. Just do not go by its name. It's not a savings account at all. Obviously, you can save your money in the account, but it has many more benefits. TFSA is an account which is tax sheltered. This is one of the major benefits of this account. Like whatever you have in your TFSA, whether that is your cash, your money, investments, it all your instruments are tax sheltered. It means whenever you are withdrawing money or you are putting in it, the government is not going to deduct any of your money, because that is what TFSA is all about. Okay, so in order to make things more simpler, just take this example. For example, if you have invested $1,000, you have bought any of the stocks, Canadian stocks, and after some point of time your investments grew to $1,200, right? It means you got the gain of $200. That means if you have just gone through the conventional way of investing money, the government is going to deduct the capital gains tax. This is because capital gains tax is all about the tax which government deducts on the capital which you have gained. For example, in our example, you have gained $200 extra. So government is going to deduct those specific percentage of tax from those $200. But this is where TFSA comes very handy. If you would have invested your money and you have bought stock via TFSA, you wouldn't have to give governments any tax. So that is the power of TFSA. Like, you can hold your stocks in TFSA, savings, your DRIPs, your dividend stocks, then your ETFs. There are many instruments that you can hold in your TFSA. Yeah, TFSA is great, but it doesn't mean like you can contribute to your TFSA like indefinitely. That is where contribution limit comes into play. The government has put a limit on the TFSA account, like only this much amount you can put in your TFSA in 1 year. Once a person is above 18, the contribution limit starts, and as he grew older, the TFSA contribution limit goes on increasing. Each year, the contribution limit is increased by $6,000, although it is variable, but right now it remains same around $6,000. It means when January comes, your TFSA contribution limit is increased by $6,000. We'll go through RRSP as well, but unlike RRSP, there is no any fees on TFSA, and neither there is any tax. It is free. Like, it is the best way if you want to save upon your taxes. Now, what are the risks involved in the TFSA? First point is, if you go over your contribution limit. For example, your contribution limit is around 12,000 Canadian dollars, but you have put in around 15,000 of Canadian dollars. Now, government is going to charge you over penalty for contributing more to your TFSA. Another point which you should be aware of is TFSA only accounts for the tax savings account just for Canadian investments. For example, if you will try to buy US stocks through your TFSA, you can do that. There is no any limitation on that. Your capital gains will still be taxed because TFSA only shelters your Canadian investments, not your American investments. So in that case, just to be very simpler, just remember this one point: always buy your Canadian investments through your TFSA and always buy your US investments with your RRSP. The reason we'll discuss in the next videos, because it is all about how the RRSPs work. One more point is, for example, your contribution limit is around $20,000 as of now. It doesn't mean you can only hold up to $20,000 in your TFSA. For example, you have put in $20,000 as of contribution limit, but your investments grew to $30,000. It is completely okay because you haven't put in more money than your contribution limit. It was all about your investments. Your investments grew, so you are good. You do not need to worry at all if you have more money in your TFSA than your contribution limit. Then what we should keep in our TFSA? So personally, all the stocks which I am buying, which is high yielding stocks, that I am buying through my TFSA. The reason being, all the income that is coming to me, for example in this case dividends are taxed every month, they come to my account. So that's the reason whenever any of the dividend is coming to my account, like in this case every month, it is not taxed at all because I am holding in my TFSA. So that's the reason, just put your high yielding dividend stocks in your TFSA. Another point of caution is whenever you are going to withdraw money through your TFSA, just always ensure you are doing it towards the end of the year. The reason being, whatever withdrawal you are going to make through your TFSA is going to impact your contribution limit for the next year. It means you have some of the limit about how much money you can put in your TFSA, but there is no any limit about how much money you can withdraw. I hope I was able to explain it more simpler terms, because when I initially came to Canada, like this was the thing I struggled the most about. Like, what is TFSA? What is RRSP? I'm not able to understand at all. So I know this can be quite tricky, but still, just figure it out, learn everything before you invest, and you are going to do great. So if you have any of the questions or queries, you can always find me on Instagram as well. So stay tuned for another videos which will be coming soon regarding investments and about my daily life. See you soon in another video.